Welcome to Hodge Podge Australia. Today I am making a giant cupcake in the shape of the Five Nights at Freddy's cupcake. If you're not familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, it is a computer iPad game that is really taking over the internet and is quite spooky, so don't play it really late at night unless you really like not being able to sleep. But let's get on with it. I have a giant cupcake, a chocolate shell, some round cutters, buttercream, some awesome pink fondant, some black fondant, and some white fondant. It's really easy to put this one together. So let's get started. We're going to layer our giant cupcake into our chocolate shell. So if you haven't seen this before, I do have some other videos where I have it more in depth, and I will leave the link to those videos in the description box below. Also in the description box below is a link to how to make the chocolate shell that you see me putting that cake in. We're simply layering the cake with the buttercream, putting on the top, and we're going to do a crumb coat for our cake. Then that's just going to go in the fridge or the freezer to set before we start with our fondant covering. If you would like to see a bit of the Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay, hit me up and I'll pop a quick video up for you, which will mean I need to play it again, but I'll do it for you guys. Don't you just love this pink fondant? I love this colour. I'm just in love with it. I'm going to have to find another way to use it. But I've rolled out my pink fondant, my buttercream is set, and now it's time to cover the top of our giant cupcake. Now, Five Nights at Freddy's cupcake is very basic. He's just pink on the top, and then using a knife, we're just going to sort of go up and down because it sort of looks like the frosting is dripping off him a little bit. So it's not just like perfectly covered. You could do it perfectly covered if you want, but just pulling it down so it has a few waves at the top and the bottom of your cupcake. Just until you're happy with the shape. And then if you do cut a little bit too high and you can see some of the buttercream, just pull it down a little bit. All you have to do, just pull it down. Fiddle with it until you're happy with what you've ended up with. And then it will be time to add on our face. So rolling out our black fondant first, we're going to cut out the eyes. I'm going to freestyle the eyes, or the black part of our eyes first. It's just like quite a large black area because obviously it's looking a bit sunken in and a bit evil. So it's sort of more like a big giant eye socket. Cutting out the black section and then placing it where you want onto the cupcakes. It is quite a large section, and then you add the eyes in after that. So fiddling with that, and then using our round cutters to cut out some of our white. I've decided to use a larger white cutter than I did have in the original picture. I just had my plunge cutters before, but I wanted a larger white section for my cupcake, so I'm just using one of my larger circle cutters. Then I will use my plunge cutters to cut out some more pink, because in some of the pictures, I mean, his eyes sort of change. It is hard to get a true picture of what the cupcake looks like, and because the game is so dark, it's really hard to get a really good picture of him. But one of the pictures I did see had that he also had pink irises, and I really liked that as opposed to just putting black on top of the white. It sort of gives him a bit more definition. So putting some pink circles on there and then finishing it off with some black pupils. Now I did change the position of the pupils once I'd put them on there. I preferred them to be sort of looking down more than just straight out. But that's personal preference. Then finishing him off with the candle. There is our Five Nights at Freddy's giant cupcake cake. That's a lot of cupcakes in one sentence. But there he is. I hope you're happy with a Five Nights at Freddy's cake. If you would like to see another one, I'm thinking about doing the bear. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see him. Thank you so much for tuning in to us here at Hodge Podge Australia. We do appreciate you taking the time to check us out each week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you again real soon.